Hi guys, now we're going to look at the week 2, day 3 homework. So this was on the expanding. Now the first few, people did generally, when I was marking these, pretty good at this. A couple kind of common problems that I want to highlight. So as you're watching through, please make sure that you're going to pause this video, double check your own answers, have your own work sitting out in front of you to help you make sure that you have checked all of your work and have the right solutions done. If you are having any trouble, please email your teacher or post on Google Classroom and we'll help you some more until you've got this sorted out. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think, the first 8 in one video. So the very first one is 2 out front of the brackets times 4x plus 1. Now remember in the lesson it said that we're going to take that 2 and we kind of call it rainbowing it in sometimes. We're going to multiply it by both things inside the bracket. If we have 2 times 4x, the rule here is that we're going to multiply. First we check the signs when we're multiplying. So these ones are nice because it's a positive 2 and a positive 4. So it's just regular positive numbers. Then we're going to multiply the number parts and we keep the variables the same. So we've got 2 times 4 is 8 and there's an x with that because the 4 had an x. The next step, we've got 2 times positive 1. So positive 2 times positive 1 is positive and 2 times 1 is 2. And there's no x's in there at all. The next one, we've got a 2 out front again, and now it's times 3x plus 1. So we're going to rainbow that 2 in. We're multiplying 2 times 3, both positive, so the answer is a positive. And then 2 times 3 is 6. The 3 has an x with it, so our answer has an x with it. The next step, we multiply the 2 times 1, and both are positive, so the answer is positive. 2 times 1 is 2. Next one, again, kind of similar. 5 times 2x plus 3. So we can draw our rainbow. We're rainbowing it in. We're multiplying that 5 to both pieces in the bracket. So we've got positive 5, positive 2, just regular positive numbers. The answer will be positive. So we can multiply 5 times 2 is 10. And the 2 has an x, so the 10 keeps that x. The next step, 5 times 3 is 15, and it's positive because both the 5 and the 3 were positive. Okay. The next one, number 4, had a couple people make a pretty common mistake because this all of a sudden is an x squared. And I think people wanted to do stuff with that squared, square the numbers or square the answers, but that's just all part of the variable. So it actually doesn't change and it just sticks around with the numbers when you've multiplied it in. So I'm going to distribute this 4 into the brackets, drawing that rainbow again. Positive 4 times positive 4, my answer is positive 16. And I keep the variable part the same. It just stays as an x squared because that's what it was in the question. It's actually easier than some people wanted to make it. If you think you have to do something with that exponent, you don't. It just stays as an x squared. Then the next step, we've got 4 times 3, positive, positive, makes a positive, and 4 times 3 is 12, and there's no variables there. Number 5, we're back to just having an x, but now we've got some negatives, so we have to be careful with our signs here. So we have 7 times 3x and 7 times negative 1. So the 7 and the 3 are both positive, so my answer will be positive. 7 times 3 is 21. And the 3 has an x, so this term has an x as well. The next one, 7 times negative 1. Remember in the lesson that if you have a positive and a positive, the answer will be positive. If you have a negative and a negative, the answer will also be positive. But if you have a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus, those will both give you negative answers. So here I have positive 7 and negative 1. That's going to be a negative as my answer. and then you just do the multiplication. 7 times 1 is 7. Next one, we've got a 3 out front times 4x minus 5. So rainbow, and then we'll multiply positive 3 times positive 4 is 12, and that term has an x because the 4 had an x. Now positive 3 times negative 5, we've got a positive and a negative, so that's going to make my answer negative. 3 times 5 is 15. So think about your signs, multiply the numbers, and then keep the variable parts the same. This one, number 7, again has an x squared, so you have to be a little bit careful with that. You don't actually have to do anything special, but sometimes people want to just because they see that squared and feel like they have to do something with the exponent. We just keep it the same. So the 5 times 4, both are positive, so it's going to be a positive answer. 5 times 4 is 20, and because the 4 had an x squared, my answer has an x squared. No exponents needed. You're not squaring anything on your calculator. Here we've got 5 times negative 3. So positive 5 times negative 3 has a negative answer. And then 5 and 3 make 15. Now here the 3 had an x. That's okay. The 15 just keeps that x. So that's 20x squared minus 15x. Last one for this video, multiplying in there. Here I've got positive 4 times negative 2x minus 3. So a positive 4 times a negative 2 gives me a negative answer because it's positive times negative. 4 times 2 is 8, and that's going to keep an x because the 2 had an x with it. The next term, 4 times negative 3, positive 4, negative 3 gives me a negative answer, and 4 times 3 is 12. So the answer on that one is negative 8x minus 12.